Hey everyone, this is Will from PowerTraders.com, guys. Today I'll be doing analysis on basically US indices. So let's jump ahead. We're currently looking at S&P 500. As you guys know, last week was quite a volatile week. You guys remember we had this pretty nasty sell-off here that started off in September 6th, and we pretty much went down about 5.7%. And of course, you remember that I said that this was a major support level. And if we broke it, that would look really bearish, right? That would set us for more downside potentially. However, we clearly see that we consolidated and we came back up. And not only did we came back up above this major support level at 4,365, this green line here, we came back above this green line, the blue line, as well as this line here. So we recovered relatively quickly, right? And that's clearly evident on the weekly chart. If you look at the weekly chart, sorry, one sec. If you look at the weekly chart, you clearly see, let me get rid of all these drawings here. You clearly see that yes, we went below this major support level, right, at 4,365. But we didn't close anywhere near that. This is a huge wick, right? We recovered this level here, and we even pretty much closed right on this support level here, 4,415. We pretty much just closed at that level here. And if you go back on the 8-hour, we're kind of testing this level right now. This green line right here, you can see here we're testing that as we speak. And if we hold, I don't see anything really stopping it. If we hold this level here, we can see buys jump back in. Of course, we still have to test this blue line here, but we could come back up here really quickly, get a retest, maybe trade sideways for a while, and then resume back up. That's, I think, a really likely scenario, considering that how fast we recovered. We've so far held all these supports so far, which is really impressive, honestly. And this level here is important that we're testing right now. As you guys can see here, this has been a major support level, and as long as we hold this green line here of this channel, right, we continue to trade in this channel. So very interesting, guys. S&P is holding major support, so I won't be surprised that we come back up, honestly. On the other hand, there's a possibility that we may come back down, although, right, because we recovered so quickly, we do have we have two strong support levels, which will keep price at bay for the time being. But we'll see, guys. Right now we still have two support levels that price will have to break. If it wants to go back to the downside, it has to break 4,415 as well as 4,365. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ. All right, so let's go. So NASDAQ, similar to the S&P, if you guys can see here, we came all the way down, right? All the way down to test this green line here, this green line support level. Yes, we had a wick, but we pretty much closed. We pretty much traded at this area for a day and pretty much recovered. And of course, today seems like we're having a retest right now, right? You guys can see that? We'll go back. We're having a retest right now on the NASDAQ. So let's see what happened. It's held before one time here, second time here. So let's see if it holds again. And of course, if you guys saw my video last week, if it breaks this level, there's not a lot of support levels in this zone here, right? There's not a lot of support levels. So if we do break it, if we have a bearish breakout, I think it's totally in the cards that we could really drop really fast. Corresponding with these move here, because honestly we haven't come down to test this move these levels here in a while, and I think it's an entire possibility. If you look at the decline to this level here, that's only about a 10% correction, so it's nothing huge, to be very honest, if we come back down here. But on the other hand, just like the S&P, right, we're holding support. So as long as we hold support, we're looking pretty neutral, right? So I would not bet against the downside as long as we hold this green line level. Of course, a short would become more attractive if we consolidate below it. But until then, guys, honestly, it's pretty neutral, and I think there's a good chance we come back up also. This looks like a retest, but let's see. All right, so the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 has actually been doing really, really well, surprisingly. Look at this. You know, it came all the way down here during the sell-off. I honestly thought it was going to come down here to test major support level, but you know, it didn't happen. And look, we recovered really quickly, right? Look at this. We pretty much retraced since the correction here. Sorry, the sell-off here. I wouldn't call this a correction. My bad. But you know, we pretty much, you know, it was down 7%, and in just, you know, in just basically a few days, we're up 6%. So we pretty much already recovered all the losses in the sell-off last week on the Russell. So really, really strong. There seems to be a bit of a momentum going on in small caps, and rightfully so, because guess what? Small caps has been, you know, they've been a dog since February of 2021 this year. All, you know, small cap has pretty much just traded sideways. That's all it's done, right? It's been trading in this big range between 2,370 to roughly around 2,000. You know, about 150 points range. But you know, it's been stuck in this range for pretty much, you know, for more than half a year, guys. And you know, even if we see some momentum here, honestly, it still has a lot of work to do to kind of get back up to this level here to see for a potential bullish breakout. But anyways, it's interesting to see that small caps are doing better than the NASDAQ and S&P. That is quite interesting. All right, let's look at the next one. Dow Jones. All right, Dow Jones also actually done pretty well. I think a lot better than the S&P and the NASDAQ, right? If you look here, we had roughly about a 6% decline, and we pretty much recovered about 2/3 of that sell-off, right? We're up 4%. So of course we hold this support level here, which has been support level in the past, right? We can clearly see that this level here is around 33,630, and we held it, and we pretty much came back up quite quickly. Let's see here if we get a retest. I feel like it's possible we get a retest back down to this level here, right, corresponding with these touches here, right? So let's see if we get a retest down to that level. But honestly, both the Russell and the Dow Jones do look quite bullish, and do look much more bullish than the S&P and the NASDAQ. All right, lastly, let's look at ARKK. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, I usually look at ARKK and sometimes the other index, ETF, XITK, as kind of like an index for hype stocks or high valuation companies, you know? So, all right, so look at ARKK. We are so far holding this support level as at 113. You guys can clearly see here, touch here, and so far we seem to be holding. So we may see price come back up, some resistance line here. Maybe you'll see that happen. Maybe we'll get rejected. Maybe we'll come back up here to retest the top end of this channel, which has been major resistance for quite a while, since March. You guys can see here there's been one attempt here, second attempt here, third attempt here to break above this major resistance, which is trading around 130. All right, let's go through the economic calendar really quickly, guys. So this week we got a lot of Fed stuff. We got a lot of Fed speech coming out. We got Chicago Fed, Williams, Chicago Fed. See here, retail inventories. We have consumer confidence. That's gonna be interesting. We also have Powell testifying. Also interesting. FOMC. A lot of FOMC members speaking. So let's see here. A lot of Fed stuff coming out. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. We do have GDP also on top of initial jobless claim data coming out. So Thursday is going to be pretty interesting also. Maybe we'll see, you know, that brings some volatility into the market. Let's see. Do have, of course, CPE. Oh, yes. ISM manufacturing PMI. So that's going to be also interesting also, especially for manufacturing companies. So let's see what happens. All right, so just a recap, basically, just a quick recap. S&P testing major support level, NASDAQ testing major support level, Russell and Dow Jones holding up much better. ARK also holding major support level. And also this week, right, we have a lot of Fed stuff coming out. We got Powell testifying. We got a bunch of other Fed members also speaking. So let's see what happens. And on top of that, we have GDP and, of course, initial jobless claim data coming on Thursday. So let's see what happens, guys. I do believe we could see some volatility coming up this week. Maybe we'll see a retest, potentially a resume off to the upside. You know, everything's in the card, and we do seem to have a catalyst to basically cause a price action. So let's see what happens. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe for more content.